Hey, this is New Line of Business, and today we are doing another episode of my Zombies Ranking series. Today we are taking a look at Gorod Krovi, DLC 3 for Black Ops 3. And this was the final map before Revelations, where it took place in Stalingrad. They were going to get Ultimus Nikolai's soul, and then moving on to Revelations. So let's get down to business. We will be using the same ranking chart that I've used for the other maps: Wonder Weapon, Easter Egg, the high rounds, the fun of the map, the complexion of the map, the look and aesthetic of the map, and the overall out of 10. Gorod Krovi is actually my second favorite map of all time. And that is partially due to the Wonder Weapon, which is the Ray Gun Mark III, and the normal Ray Gun, which is obviously on every map. But the Ray Gun Mark Mark IIIs are dual-wield ray guns, one shooting like a black hole thingy, and then the other shooting a laser. If you do shoot that black hole and shoot with the laser, it becomes a super black hole that just kills all the zombies until like around 70, I think, which is where it kind of poops off, which is a problem, which is actually one of the reasons why getting to around 100 on Gorod Krovi is kind of difficult. It's like Call of the Dead with the Wonder Weapons, in the sense of they're good Wonder Weapons. Like the Scavenger is a good Wonder Weapon. The Ray Gun Mark IIIs are a good Wonder Weapon until a certain point where they just completely drop off and the zombies will just start tanking the shots. Like, I don't know how you tank a black hole, and then it just becomes really hard, even with double pack-a-punch. Like, getting through those last kind of like 30, 25 rounds can be really hard. But I'll talk about that more in the high rounds part. But the Wonder Weapon can be upgraded normal. There's no steps or process to upgrade it. You just throw it into the pack-a-punch machine, and you get the Maelstrom of Eris. It's basically the exact same thing, except I think just more ammo, higher damage, obviously. I think the black hole might last longer. I'm not sure about that. Not sure about that, though. So now moving on to the Easter egg of Gorod Krovi. In my opinion, I think the Easter egg on Gorod Krovi is the best Easter egg of all time, because there is almost nothing tedious in it. You are just doing these steps, but you're killing zombies while you're doing it, which a lot of people have said, and I'm going to say it again. That is why the Easter egg is so good, because you're just killing zombies while doing it. But you still do have to do most or some of these side quests. Like, you have to get the Gauntlet of Siegfried for it, because you have to give the power cord to Nikolai with the dragon thingy on your arm, the Whelp, that's his name, Whelp. And just doing all kind of those side quests while doing the Easter egg, and being able to complete the Easter egg while you're doing these other things, makes the main Easter egg and the side Easter egg not feel tedious at all, which I think that's how all Easter eggs should be. There's very few Easter eggs that come close to it, not necessarily in the actual boss fight or stuff, or the conclusion of the story. It does have a good story, does have an amazing boss fight, but just the process of doing the Easter egg is probably the best of all time. So now moving on to the high rounds, which I did talk about a little bit with the Wonder Weapon. The high rounds, the early to mid rounds, are really easy on Gorod Krovi. If you get the PPSH, the Mark IIIs, you're basically set, the FFAR. But once you get to that point where the Ray Gun Mark III drops off and the flamethrower on the Gauntlet of Siegfried drops off, then it starts getting hard. Really, the only things you can rely on are just a lot of Ray Gun Mark III shots, the Guard of Fafnir shot, because you can actually upgrade the Guard of Fafnir, which is the shield on this map, and the Dragon Strike as well. You can get the upgraded monkeys, but still, those things all eventually drop off at some point. There are very few things that can get you through those last couple rounds to around 100, and unless you complete the Easter egg, there aren't many super good training spots. There's the one by Tank Factory on the bottom. There's the Tank Factory, actually just a really good area in general to train. But Supply Depot kinda is big, but there's actually a lot of areas it can come out of. So Gorod Krovi, you can I feel like the strategies that you use are kind of a camping and training combination. Like you kind of train, and then when there kind of gets a lot of zombies, you kind of go back into a camping spot, and then you kind of repeat that process. It's not like just a training or just a camping map. You have to kind of make a combination of both to have success, especially in those mid to late rounds. And moving on from high rounds, we're going on to the fun of the map. Gorod Krovi is a very fun map. I wouldn't necessarily say chaotic, but like if you have a few people in there, like 2 or 3 people, it is really, really fun. Like you're all just running around. One person's got like the Mark IIIs. You're just like blasting everything. It is just really, really fun to play with friends. And because in those kind of early to mid rounds where most zombies players will get, you can just kind of like relax and just kind of kill zombies because it's just not a super stressful map in those mid and early rounds because of the wonder weapons and how reliable it is. I said wonder weapons because technically there's two. There's like the one part of the one gun of the Mark III, and then the other gun of the Mark III. Don't sue me. And it's just a fun map to just chill with friends if you've had like a long day, and just this is the map to play. Moving on to complexion of the map. The map, I think, is the perfect mid-ground map for people and like kind of newer casual zombies players. That's the thing about Gorod Krovi. It's kind of like a casual map because it feels like classic zombies in a sense, where you really only have to get really just the wonder weapon. A shield would be a shield preferable. You don't have to get the Gauntlet of Siegfried. If you want, mind you, it'll be much easier. You don't have to upgrade the shield. You really just have to get a wonder weapon, your perks, maybe a shield, and you can just kind of have a fun time. But just the complexion, because there is only one buildable on the map. There's the shield. Then there's the 3 Dragon Command cylinders, and then the Dragon Network controllers that you get from those Graph modules, and then there is the Gauntlet of Siegfried. Obviously, there are a few more things you can pick up for the Easter egg that you don't actually like see in your inventory, but that's only for the Easter egg. So if you're just going for like a kind of high rounds or like a mid rounds game, there's like literally one buildable, and then Pack-a-Punch is just clicking your interact button literally like 6 times and killing some zombies. So it's a really easy way to open Pack-a-Punch. You just have to turn on the power, get the command cylinders, put it in, get the Graph module, repeat that 2 more times, and install them in the bunker, and boom, you have Pack-a-Punch open. Then there's the Dragon Strike controller, which you don't have to do, but it's really easy to do. You just click square and then survive a couple waves of zombies. And I just feel like that is the perfect mid-ground complexion for people who don't want a super simple map, like, let's say, Durice, or like some of the Black Ops 1 maps, like Kino, but who want kind of a map more on the complex side, but like not like Zetsubo or Origins or Shadows, just right in the middle. I think that's where Gorod Krovi just fits right in. Now, the aesthetic and look of Gorod Krovi, oh my god, it looks amazing. A lot of reds, because obviously it's like all on fire. A lot of like destroyed buildings. One of the coolest door designs, like usually they're like floating boxes, and then there's some gates, but it is just an amazing map design. It has a lot of detail with all like the dragons and the planes flying around above, like those dead dragons, just crashed robots, like in the tank factory area and in the supply depot area. Oh, no, it's not one in the supply depot area, in the tank factory area. And it just looks amazing and has such a unique look. There are a lot of maps set in Russia in zombies, like this Call of the Dead, Ascension, but none of them have this kind of vibe. None of them have like the destroyed vibe. Call of the Dead kind of does, but it's more of like a snowy area. And then Ascension's a very like clean kind of facility. It does have some like crash stuff and turned over stuff, but nothing like a destroyed city vibe and look. Now, moving on to the final category, the overall out of 10 rating that I would give Gorod Krovi. I think I would give Gorod Krovi a 9 out of 10. No, a 9.5 out of 10. There are like very few things that I don't like about Gorod Krovi. The one thing is how the beginning of every game is very similar. If like you're not using specific gobble gums, it's at least the way I play, it's the same every time. You buy the RK5, you 6-shot stab, you open both doors in round 1, and then by round 3 you can build a shield and usually have one Dragon Network controller, and then usually by round 5 or 6 you have Pack-a-Punch open if you're lucky and don't accidentally kill the zombie while doing the Groff module things. Really, that's the only thing I don't like about Gorod Krovi. So yeah, Gorod Krovi, my second favorite map. Looks like our busy done here. I will see you all next time. And the next zombie review video I will be doing is on my favorite map, so watch out for that. And I'm not telling you what it is. See you next time.